This is a 2026 GMC Canyon AT4X. And I'm not sure if you guys noticed the change that they made for 2026 that might have hurt them for 2025. I borrowed this truck from Jerry Seiner GMC here in South Jordan, Utah. Be sure to ask for Frank. He is the sales manager, so he's the guy that can say yes. Let's go ahead and check out the window sticker so you guys see all the options and features on this build. At the very top is a description with the colors. And then this is a short listing of the standard equipment. Be sure to pause to see more. Base price comes in at $57,200, and the only option on this one is going to be the paint. Destination is $2,095 with a total price of $59,790. And then here are the fleet comment numbers off to the side. So if you don't remember, last year the AT4X got discontinued, okay? And what I mean by that is the trim level went away, but it became a package, a part of the AT4. And I'm willing to bet you some people probably just thought that the X was gone, because if you were going online to build one, you didn't see it on the website, so you probably thought, oh, I guess they don't build it anymore. So maybe you went out and bought a ZR2, or maybe you went out and bought a Trail Hunter, maybe, right? With that being said, though, if you compare the price online from 25 to 26, it looks as though this price went up by $2,225. So I'll have to confirm maybe in the future, because I couldn't find really anything, because I didn't do a video on one of these trucks last year, because normally I just base it off of my videos because I show the window sticker in every video, so I just go back and just check what I did. But yes, if that's the case, this got a higher price increase over the Denali that I actually reviewed. So why would you buy an X? It's simply because you want the best off-road option on the market. I love the fact that these trucks come standard with the wide body stance. Also, you get the off-road front bumper, which has a cutout. If you want a winch, check, you can get that. You want an off-road bumper, check, you can get that. If you want 35-inch tires, check, you can get that. If you want a sport bar, yep, you can get that too. You can get more skid plates. You can, I mean, there's jounce stop. I mean, if you want to go crazy, this truck has it all. I mean, there's nothing on the market like this. But let me just warn you, you can increase this price probably over 70 grand if you click every single option on the build sheet, so just be careful there. Premium lighting does come standard, active grille shutters. Also, this truck does have the front camera, which you can use for the trails. There's also a camera option for underneath, that way you can check for rocks, things like that. You guys can probably see the red recovery hooks and that grayish silver accent down below. Really good ground clearance. Let's see what the skid plates look like. Hopefully you guys can see right there. And you have better options compared to this. Even as you go further back, you have one right there for that axle. Let's go ahead and check out the suspension next. This is the Multimatic DSSV, which is Dynamic Suspension Spool Valve. And you can tell the body of this shock absorber is like in a triangular formation. Hopefully you can see that. Okay. So this does not use the deflective disc. It does use the spool valves like in the secondary chamber of the suspension. Also has a remote reservoir built in too. And it's not adjustable, which I would like to see in the future from this setup here. But you can see here, double wishbone, independent front suspension, aluminum steer knuckle inside of there. You can see that liner is going to be finished with a fabric material, which is easy to clean out. And then here are the tires. These are the Goodyear Wrangler Territory MTs, LT 285 70 17-inch wheels, so 6 lug 4 piston. You can see that. Now these are 32.7 inches tall, which is actually a little bit shorter than the 20s on the Denali, which is kind of funny, but they are considerably wider. I think these are 11.2 inches wide. You can see those fender flares a little bit more aggressive on this truck too. Clearance lights, they do paint the mirror caps, painted door handles with smart key system just on the front doors. Has the rock rails already installed, and they come standard. You can black out the badging on this truck too. Here's some of the cameras and blind spot alert. Black trimming here. Let's see. Transfer case is going to have a little bit more protection under there. So there it is, that's the upgraded skid plate. And remember, you can get even better skid plates. That transmission is exposed, and there is a skid plate for like your fuel tank available, and for that rear depth. Here's that standard bed there, 21.5 gallon fuel tank, and this does take regular fuel. Now the leaves are pretty similar to what you see on the other trim levels, like the Denali. You have 4 leaves with a helper spring right here. Now you can see the orientation of this body of the shock is a little different out back because fitment issues. You can see the frame right there, but it still has a reservoir built in there, e-coating frame, and you have a liner out back too. Rear bumpers don't have the steps anymore. And these tail lights are going to be incandescent bulbs, receiver hitch with 4 and 7 pin. Just rear parking sensors, no front. Incandescent lights for your license plate. And one thing I like about this truck is you do get a matching tire, but they give you a steely. Now I will say, that wheel looks really nice. I would not mind rocking those if they gave me a couple $1,000 discount on the wheels that came on here, which I know is unrealistic. Front and rear lockers are on this truck. And then here inside the bed, you have the 400 watts of power, tie downs, lighting above, which is incandescent bulbs, more tie downs on the sides. And most people know by now that you have this. It is waterproof. And they do give you some measurements that you can make up here too, so it's like a workbench. And here is a side view of the truck. As I've mentioned in so many other videos, no V8 option, which I would love to see. This engine is pretty overbuilt, has a fully forged bottom end, 30% stiffer crankshaft, 310 horsepower, 430 pound-feet of torque. All that power goes to an 8-speed transmission, 342 rear. Let's go ahead and check out the interior. Inside the interior, you do have the two-tone leather, so you have the black on white, red stitching. And I like this graphic that they give you here. Seat memories, just for the driver's side. And this is a 10-way seat because you can adjust the cushion on the front and rear of the bottom cushion. AT4X badge, more of that white leather with red accent there. Red stitching on the steering wheel, which is tilt and telescoping and heated. I will admit, too much hard plastic for this price point. Let's go ahead and check out the passenger side. On this side, there is a bottle holder right there. 8-way passenger seat. More of that white accent on the dash right there. More of that graphic, and it says AT4X. There's only a grab handle on this side, not on the passenger side. Bose sound system. Now there is a little bit of a lip here. You have to lift your leg over, and then you have to prepare for these rocker rails too. So I know for some people getting in and out of this might not be as easy. Now you do notice you lose that graphic right here, which is pretty typical in these mid-size pickups. They all kind of do it. It's too funny. Seat back pocket on both sides. There is a hump, 2 USBs, air vents also. I always forget to show this guy because it's so hidden. 60/40 bench. You can drop down these headrests for better visibility if no one's sitting back here. And they still give you the red seat belts out back too. Do you guys like red seat belts? I actually think it's kind of cool. I almost got that for my Corvette. Actually yellow ones, but they weren't available for my spec. But yeah, black liner on the roof, incandescent lights here. Let's go ahead and jump back over to the driver's seat. Now what's really cool about the Canyon is every trim level is basically an off-road trim, right? So if you want to go to your off-road pages, for example, every trim level pretty much has this, like the AT4 Denali. I'm not sure about the elevation though. You can see right here your front and rear axles are unlocked. Now the buttons are right here, so you can just lock the rear or you can lock both. Let's see what happens when I hit lock both. You do have to switch to four-wheel drive low to use it, so let's go ahead and do that now. Four-wheel drive low, you can see that it did lock the rear. Let's go ahead and lock the front one now. So it actually went over automatically and did that when you went into four-wheel drive low. So that's pretty cool. Now if you want to put it in auto, it will probably unlock that front axle. Oh, I'm in neutral. I'm like, why am I going? Here it is. So it does show you the angle of the steering wheel here, altitudes right there, and drive modes. Let's go ahead and see how many you have. You probably have an extra one. So normal, off-road, tow haul, terrain, and Baja. So Baja is the extra one that you get with this AT4X. Heat and ventilated seats, dual climate controls right there. Now if you want to go back to really quickly, let me just show you everything else here that they give you. Nice compass, RPMs. If you hit home, it takes you right back to this screen. And I like to show your temperatures too. You don't have this on the Sierra half tons and HDs quite yet, but they show you coolant temp, transmission fluid temp, oil pressure, and oil temperature. Trip information's right here. Fuel economy. Now on this screen, if you push this button, really nice menus that they give you. You have full screen navigation. So if you want Apple CarPlay on this side or Android Auto, you can have your music playing and then have navigation right in front of you. And then these are your off-road pages here. Heads-up display. Sunroofs right there. And that is pretty much everything I care to show you guys. 360, and as I mentioned, you have your underbody cameras. I almost forgot about this actually. And if you want just a little bit more wider screen, you can disable that bird's eye view too. If you need to clean off the camera, you do have a washer right there for that. Yeah, I love this. No one else has this. So yeah, GM is definitely leading the way if you want that top view too. It's a little bit of a delay too in this screen. But yeah, let's go ahead and check out the numbers on the door. The front gross axle weight rating is going to be 3,500 pounds. The rear is 3,400 pounds. Gross vehicle weight rating is going to be 6,250 pounds. Wheels are 17 by 8 wide. All-in payload is 1,276 pounds. 36 psi all the way around for the tire pressure. Hope you guys liked the video. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. I will be doing some drive videos in the future on these trucks, so you don't want to miss it. See you in the next video.